Greetings to everyone. Today let us look into intro story of Book of Exodus in Bible. In the land of Egypt, many generations had passed since the time of Joseph, who had once saved the Egyptians from famine and brought prosperity to the land. But now, a new Pharaoh arose who knew not Joseph, nor did he remember the kindness shown by the Hebrews in their time of need. The descendants of Jacob, who had come to Egypt seeking refuge, had grown into a great and numerous people. They thrived in the fertile Nile Delta, their numbers multiplying. This prosperity stirred fear in the heart of the new Pharaoh. He saw the Hebrews as a threat to his kingdom, worried that their strength and numbers might one day lead to rebellion. In his anxiety, Pharaoh devised a plan to subjugate the Hebrews and limit their growth. He ordered them into forced labor, assigning them to build the cities of Pithom and Ramses and to work on other construction projects. They toiled under harsh conditions, their lives filled with the relentless demands of their Egyptian oppressors. Yet, despite the cruelty of their circumstances, the Hebrews continued to multiply. Their endurance and resilience seemed boundless, much to Pharaoh's dismay. His fear deepened, and he grew more ruthless in his efforts to control them. Finally, Pharaoh devised a sinister plan to curb the Hebrew population growth. He summoned the Hebrew midwives, Shiphrah and Puah, and instructed them to kill all newborn Hebrew boys. However, these brave midwives feared God more than they feared the Pharaoh, and they refused to carry out his wicked command. They let the Hebrew boys live, and their defiance of Pharaoh's orders did not go unnoticed. As the Hebrew population continued to grow, Pharaoh's desperation intensified. He issued a cruel edict, commanding that all Hebrew male infants be cast into the Nile River, a decree meant to ensure the extinction of the Hebrew people. Amidst this dark period, one family faced a heartbreaking decision. Amram and Jochebed, devout Hebrews, welcomed a son into the world. They saw that their child was a beautiful and special gift from God. But the oppressive decree weighed heavily on their hearts. With great sorrow, they decided to hide their newborn son from the eyes of the Egyptian authorities. Jochebed, Moses' mother, carefully crafted an ark of bulrushes, waterproofed it with tar, and placed the infant Moses inside. She then set the small vessel afloat in the reeds along the banks of the Nile, trusting in God's providence to protect her son. Miriam, Moses' older sister, watched from a distance, her heart filled with hope and anxiety. She saw the Pharaoh's daughter, the princess of Egypt, approaching the river to bathe. As fate would have it, the princess spotted the ark among the reeds. Moved by compassion, the princess ordered her servants to retrieve the ark from the water. When she saw the baby within, she recognized him as a Hebrew child. Despite the cruel decrees of her father, the princess felt a motherly love for the infant. She decided to adopt the child and named him Moses, meaning, drawn from the water. Miriam, quick-thinking and bold, approached the princess and offered to find a Hebrew nurse to care for the child. The princess agreed, and so it was that Moses was nursed by his own mother, Jochebed, in the palace of the Pharaoh. Thus, the very woman who had set him adrift in the Nile became his protector and nurturer, all by the divine hand of providence. Moses grew up as a prince of Egypt, educated in all the wisdom and ways of the Egyptians. He lived a life of privilege and luxury within the royal palace, yet he never forgot his true heritage as a Hebrew. His heart was torn between the opulence of his adopted home and the suffering of his people. Little did he know that his journey would one day lead him to become the chosen leader of the Israelites, leading them out of bondage and into a destiny filled with trials, miracles, and divine guidance.